Previously on Coupled with Chaos Personal Podcast.
When I went to work on Friday, we were making plans for our office Christmas party that we would be attending with our daughter, since she works in the office that I work at also, which was going to be a fun plan. And I messaged her that I really am not feeling well. So when I got into office and told her I didn't feel well, like it's pretty serious, and I'm thinking it's pretty serious. Like I'm checking for blood and I'm going through a whole lot of scenarios in my head that I got, something seriously wrong in me. Because, I don't have a fever. I get the chills, but only like after I eat, after a while. I have no clue what's going on. So I message her and she tells me, hey,
there's a thing happening.
Yeah. My boyfriend, who also works at the company, was at the party, says that there are a lot of people who are sick. And then the guy who I was there with, who had the other plate, said, you know what, the turkey tasted funny. I just took a bite and then I didn't have any more. I said, well, thanks for telling me.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Coupled with Chaos.
We're a day late. Life's busy.
We are indeed. It is.
It is. Very busy. That's good, though. Doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
We went, I guess, we call it a celebratory dinner this evening, I guess. Our style.
Yeah, it wasn't fancy, but it was expensive.
It was expensive. Not a lot
kind
of
crazy, really.
Not a lot of like quick sit down places to eat around us. Uh-huh. And so a place that you favor and have for a long time, and we did before we were married, was Long John Silver's. Mm-hmm. And so
that's the one place my parents would go when I was a kid.
They, your mother being English,
yeah,
always wanted her some cod, right?
Fish and malt vinegar, yeah.
And so there's one near us, and about, I don't know, it seems like 4 or 5 months ago, they put a fence around it and started knocking it down.
Demolished it.
Yeah. And our son said the same thing. I didn't imagine that Long John's financially would be in a position where they would be tearing down stores and building them back up again.
From scratch.
Yeah, I don't know if it's franchised or whatever, but just we were a bit surprised when we found out that they were building a new one in its place.
Yeah, neighbors had told us that was the case, but we didn't really believe it.
No, because it doesn't make sense. Places are closing. Mm-hmm. Places really
everywhere.
Aren't, especially like in our neighborhood. The pool of teenage employment is not. I don't think the pool's all that good. We didn't. You went to them growing up?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my parents didn't eat out very often, but if we did, that was where we went.
They have a little bell inside, right?
That and Taco Bell.
Is Taco Bell? I don't know. That was a thing when I was a kid. We didn't have those. What do we have? We didn't have Long Johns where I was growing up. We had. You ever heard of an Arthur Treacher's?
Yeah, I've heard of that, but we never had those.
That's what we had.
Be a northern thing.
Yeah, I think those are gone. Arthur Treacher's. What happened to Arthur Treacher's? Wow, Arthur Treacher's. There was 820 locations, and in the 1970s, there was the cod wars, evidently, between Iceland and Great Britain, causing the price of cod to double. Arthur Treacher switched from cod to pollock.
Alaskan pollock.
Yes, that's what they did, and they lost, evidently. Oh, there are still...
because cod is where it is.
There are still 3 Arthur Treachers, and they appear to be in my neck of the woods growing up, around Cleveland. So, Cuyahoga Falls, Cleveland Heights, Garfield Heights. So, owned by, started by Dave Thomas, Wendy's guy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he helped start it. And owned currently by Nathan's Famous. They actually own the Arthur Treacher's brand. Oh. So that's what we had growing up.
That's the hot dog company, right?
Yeah,
Nathan's hot dogs?
Yeah, I don't notice a difference. I mean, we didn't go out to eat much, but I guess.
Yeah, we didn't either.
The cod wars, Long Johns didn't switch. They stuck to it. And
now they just charge $500,000.
Yeah,
to
it was a
cover the cost of
lot.
the cod, apparently.
well, I mean, it was a decent amount of food. Don't get me wrong. And you got
But it
food
is still fast food.
for more than one meal. It could possibly
I got
be actually three meals out of it.
Yeah,
I would
2
assume.
dinners and a lunch for 3 people.
But you got a code, some kind of discount. But it was still.
Yeah, I did. That was with 20% off. It was still like $60.
What'd you get? 12 pieces of fish?
Yeah, 12-piece family meal, which has 3 sides. And then comes with hush puppies, your choice of 3 sides. And you get either any ratio of fish and chicken that you want in the 12 pieces. We got all fish because fish is more expensive than chicken. And it used to be the pieces were a lot bigger than the chicken, but now they're more closer to the same size.
Yeah, they had to cut down.
Since
Maybe
the reopening.
Maybe they're going back to pollock. Maybe that was it. So that's not good.
Well, that shouldn't have raised the price.
Yeah, I get it. Well, you got to make money.
Pollock is what they use in the fake crab legs that you use like for sushi. That's pollock. The white fish.
Now, this Long John's that we were at was a bit run down normally, right? It was a bit tired. Actually,
as everything is in this area.
And I think most Long John's that we've ever been at have been a little worn down. There's like a layer of grease on everything. Yeah. Everything's a bit slippery. It's in the air, just in general.
And in the worker's skin, probably.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's just what it is. I think it's however good the grease is and the fryers probably are how good that stuff is. So we had good hope when we went in there. We said, hey, this is new and it's like a week old. It was almost clean. Almost. There was shrimp on the floor. It was like we used to have a restaurant that we grew up. My grandparents would take us, and you had peanuts, and you just throw the peanut shells on the floor. So you're walking around on peanut shells. This was like that, but with, I guess, half-eaten pieces of shrimp is what we had. It was not encouraging when we went in there. There was no ice in the ice
dispenser. And I went to get water because it was $2.79 for a small cup. And so you guys splurged on drinks.
Because we're living the high life.
In restaurants.
We're living the high life.
So I got water.
It's a celebratory meal.
And I went to put water
$2.79
in the cup. And it spewed out as if it were a water hose with your thumb over the end, like when you're trying to spray plants. It came out like that and at an angle. I showed Holden before we left when I went to refill my cup. I said, you see all this water all over the countertop? Watch this. I hit the dispenser and he went spraying everywhere and he busted out laughing.
So we assume this place will look run down just like the other one. Give it a couple months. I used
so I told them there was no ice. And they said, oh, we can get ice in the back. But then she didn't offer me any.
It's just a statement.
I was like, okay, let me have my lukewarm water.
There were like 8 employees.
Dispenser.
I think you look at this, maybe they just didn't know. But there were just employees walking around everywhere. Maybe the first week.
Yeah, and on break everywhere. Like all the tables were taken by employees.
They were ready. But nobody, I think you would have said to somebody, you know what, let's fill the ice bin before you go on break.
When we pulled into the parking lot, we were like, wow, it's really busy. And we were kind of excited, like it must be really good. And then we walked in and there was like one person and then a bunch of employees. Yes, so we realized that all the cars in the parking lot were all the staff.
Maybe that's a good idea. You make it look busier than it is, then people come in. The food wasn't bad, but it wasn't like...
It was good. The food was good.
$70 worth of food.
Highly overpriced.
Yeah.
Delicious, though.
Yeah.
Cooked well, not too greasy.
Yeah, I would have to say that was decent.
I rang the bell on the way out.
That's good. That's what you do, ring the bell.
Childhood, flashback.
So, I don't know. Maybe we should find Arthur Treacher's and see what that's like. If you hear noise in the background, it's the puppy.
I think that's north. I've never seen one.
There were 820 of them. I guess they got to go around somewhere. So, I don't know.
We had
it's like
Captain D's in Virginia too.
That's trash, right? I mean, just in general. There's one here.
I used to mystery shop them, and because you remember I went through those years where I was doing a lot of mystery shopping and I would do restaurants. I used to have to mystery shop their drive-through, which was cool. I didn't actually have to go in and deal with people. Mainly it was on the drive-through service and time and ease of ordering. And
they had their name tag on, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, and then rating their food. And so I would always order the, I think it was some kind of chicken and rice. And that was really, really good. And that was my favorite thing to get there. It was pricey too, so that worked out. Free dinner.
Yeah, we used to do that with pizza, I remember. We have to take pictures
lots
of pizza.
Papa John's.
Till we got busted.
Because we were the only people in town doing it, and they had so many orders they had to do. They would pay me a premium bonus to do it at the last minute at multiple locations because their shop window was expiring and they had nobody to do it. So I got spotted at so many restaurants in such a short period of time that the employees figured out I was a mystery shopper.
Why would you let that out? If you knew you had a mystery shopper, wouldn't you then manipulate? I would, just in general.
You would think.
I would manipulate their orders to make sure that they were really good. Hey, this is Kelly.
And you would go to the manager and say, hey, don't tell the other stores because we want to get better grade than them.
But no, people aren't like that. Yeah, we used to have to get the pizza, take it and flip the slices.
Cut it. I had to cut it with scissors.
Yeah, and then flip each piece
flip it
opposite.
Over.
They
didn't want it. They didn't want it. We had to cut through a piece with scissors because they didn't want to see the side of the pizza when it had been cut with a pizza cutter. They wanted to see the crust when cut with scissors. So we had to take the pieces and cut them.
Yeah, it'd be pizza in the house.
To show that side.
And you'd have to take 45 minutes just to prep this thing to eat it.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
it would be cold by the time
you know what we're like about pizza, so we're like, this is going to be room temperature. That's probably why I got stomach issues, because I eat room temperature pizza.
We had to flip the pieces over to show the crust, remember? Every other piece. We had specific photo layouts that we had to do. I'd be like, I'm trying to hurry. Everybody's waiting for pizza.
No, we're going to die here because it's going to be 2 more minutes and we can't get pizza. So we went to Long John's. I guess it was all right. The staff, not good. The fork broke in my hand.
Oh, and I ordered from their new kiosk, which was great. Specifically tapped dine in.
Yeah, that was nice. I like the kiosk ordering system. So I don't have to talk to people.
Yeah, and plus it had me log into my account like in the app, so I could get special offers and coupons, and that's how I came across the 20% off, which was cool, because we did have a big order. And then I tapped to dine in, and that was printed across the top of the receipt in gigantic letters right underneath the name Long John Silver's, dine in. And they handed me the receipt, and then when they had me get the order at the counter, it was in a to-go bag in boxes. And I brought it to the table. I'm like, what is this? Wow. So I go back up and asked for plates. And they looked at me like I was foreign. And I said, my order was dine in.
Yeah, they saw you and you got a bucket of food. So they're going, you can't be eating all this here.
Well, I mean, there was nobody in there. Clearly, we were all at the table together.
Yeah, I get it.
And the guy, so I said it was dine in. And the guy goes, dine in? Like he'd never heard of such a thing. He goes back to check the little order screen. And I'm like, yeah, I need plates? Do you want me to eat out of the box? And so he grabs plates and he goes, how many do you need? I said, 3. So he puts one back and hands me 4.
Well, that's like 3. It's close. We're rounding up is what we're doing.
We were just all comically laughing at just the series of errors happening because this is just like the old Long John Silver.
Yeah. It's new staff, right? I mean, everybody would have gotten new jobs, so we have new people.
But they're not of any better caliber than the last one.
Yeah, it's the first week. You think you'd have this. Not that it will keep us from not going back. Because I think when you go to a place like Long John's,
for the food.
You know what you're going to get. I don't know that we'll dine in. I think it'd be more pick up and bring home.
Right.
That way I can get a fork that won't cut my hand. I literally went to use the side of it and cut a piece of what is a boneless piece of deep fried cod.
Well, really what you needed was
A
a
real
plastic
utensil.
knife, but the only utensil available in the little to-go plastic bags was just a fork.
Yeah,
There's nothing else
I
in it.
didn't go to the edge of this piece. I actually went to the middle. So I'm just take breading and fish. And so one press with my fork, and it literally shattered. And the funny thing is you looked around on the floor, and you saw
There's other shards of forks.
I think these hopefully are not prison forks, because
Right.
they're just shanks is what they're having everywhere.
Right. That would be good.
Maybe we should advise an Arthur Treachers on what not to do. It reminds me of the Arthur Treachers and Long John's, the sitcom I wrote, the life coach, one of the life coach ones, where he was mediating. The life coach was mediating between two Greek, I think it was Greek guys, who their ancestors came to the U.S., and one of them was donuts with a O-U-G-H, and the other was donuts with D-O-N-U-T-S. And it was the family split. So he was negotiating between the two, the division in the family, about spelling of donut. And so that was, it's funnier than it sounds.
If you say so.
It was good. It was one of my better ones, if I had to think so. You know, I hear people talking about like all this. Everybody's mad about AI taking jobs from like writers and people in Hollywood, and I'm like, whatever. There's funny stuff out there that those of us who could write couldn't even get read. Like, you can't even get read. Like, no one's even going to read it. And so, and to hear them complain that somebody's taking their jobs, when their whole reason why we can't get read is because there are other funny writers out there, and you just can't even get in the door. So that's my angry, bitter comedy writing rant of the, I guess,
I have a lot of angry
decade.
bitters from this week.
Thank you for listening.
You can listen to the rest of this episode
By subscribing to our Coupled with Chaos channel on Apple,
by subscribing to our Patreon
or by subscribing to our Supercast,
for $3.99 a month.
where you can hear us talk about reality shows,
Real life and more on our podcasts.
covering shows airing on TLC, A&E, Bravo, and the WE Network.
Just follow the instructions in the show notes
Tell your friends about this podcast.
and rate and review us on your favorite podcast player.
Follow us at Coupled with Chaos on all the socials.
Or contact us directly by email at coupledwithchaos@gmail.com.